Hello, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Taurus, so you have hunter, aggressor, tracker, and provider, and then you have new life. Now, straight up, this is you needing to aggressively track down this new life. But the thing is when you look at hunter, it does talk about actively seeking out the things that you want and having the courage to go after the things that you would make yours. But it says that you need to be honest with yourself about what it is you're really wanting here. So when you look at new life, it talks about birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. What does your new life look like, right? So absolutely, if you want a new life, you got to get up and you got to get after it. But you have to be honest with yourself about what you want in terms of a new life, a new experience, right? But I don't see it as a bad thing. I just think that you need to think about what you're trying to go after or what you're trying to make happen here. And then this was interesting. So from moonology here, you have take time to breathe out, the disseminating moon. Now this one says, I am where I am and it's okay. This is saying that you're okay with where you're at right now. Don't be so quick to chase after something that you're not clear about, right? When you're wanting this new life. It also says that you should know where you stand either now or very soon. And you need to take some time out for your own good. And it's time for you to share your wisdom and experience with someone else and avoid falling into a slump. You know, especially if things don't progress the way that you want them to. But I would say that just give yourself a time out. You know, if you're aggressively wanting this new life, maybe it's time to just breathe for a minute, right? Here's your overall, the Magician, manifesting that cool ass shit, right? Needing to be confident in your ability to make something happen here, taking a brand new idea and using what you have to create it. I like it. I don't think that we're talking about any kind of like manipulation here, but you know, we'll see how things go. But I would say with this being the overall, I think you need to be more aware of what your abilities are in terms of what you are trying to create or manifest. Okay, in the past, the Tower. So now with the Magician being the overall, I like that because even if you've had like complete destruction in your life or a situation that came crashing down, I don't think that, you know, you're in a place where you're in a slump here, right? Although we need to be careful about that if you're not seeing the new life that you want. But I would say that the Tower here is representing something that came crashing down but needed to be cleared out in your life. Because again, right, the Tower, this is about something that can't withstand in your life. You know, but we could be talking about shocking and abrupt change that you may be making though too. It could be like moving. It could be abruptly changing a job or a relationship, right? But that's because you feel like with the Magician, like you can make something else happen. You know, and maybe things didn't exactly go the way that you wanted to in the past, but it's clearing the way, so to speak. Oh yeah, okay, so in the present, the Eight of Cups, right? This is, for me, you realizing that there's no point in trying to keep this going anymore. It's kind of like looking at the Tower, that this is something that you didn't really want to come crashing down or collapse in your life, but you're realizing now that it's not worth investing in anymore, especially emotionally with the Eight of Cups. But this is not about not really being sure about where you're headed next. But with the Magician, you know, I still feel good about where you're going after this. But, you know, with that Eight of Cups, hopefully we're not clinging on to anything, but I don't think that that's the case. You know, but this may be like a bummer, right? Like, I didn't want to have this happen, but, you know, now it's time for you to move on. Okay, and the Four of Wands. Once you leave a situation behind that is not bringing you fulfillment, I think that the Four of Wands is showing that you're going to start accomplishing some things here, and it's going to open the door for you to create bigger and better, even with the Magician. The Four of Wands, again, it's stability, but it's like reaching this accomplishment and getting back to a place of stability here. And I think that that's what's happening after you move on from what you've been putting so much into, right? And the situation has collapsed. It's over with. It needs to go away. But this could be like you literally rebuilding your life. It could be somewhere else. It could be, like I said, with a different relationship. It could be with a different job, whatever the case may be. But I like this coming out. Okay, your best path to follow, the Two of Swords. A lot of people are having a hard time with this. A lot of times, we don't want to have to make the choice that is going to cause us to have to deal with pain or deal with the truth of a situation. A lot of times we want to ignore what's going on, but I think that for a lot of you, for a long time, you've been like holding this off. But I'm telling you, if you make this choice and you don't let somebody else make it for you, you're going to feel better about, like, I'm finally accomplishing what I want now once I've let this go. You just have to make the choice to do that. You can create whatever you want here with the Magician. And if you want a new life, there's something that you're going to have to let go of. And your environment, the Nine of Wands, this isn't something that, you didn't want it to go this way. Whatever it is that's falling apart here with the Tower. Looking at the Nine of Wands, we're talking about, first of all, you've been put through a lot. But it's showing that maybe you've been a little bit too persistent with trying to keep something going that just isn't going to bring you what you need or the fulfillment that you want with the Eight of Cups, right? So it's no longer worth protecting. And I think that you know this. And I think that you know that you're going to have to make this choice to stop doing this. But I think that there's been like a good period of time where you've been like blocking it out. Like, I'm not ready to face it yet almost. I've been through so much. I want to still hang in there, but it's time to move on. But I still feel good about where you're coming out at on this. Your hopes and your fears, judgment. Are you making the right assessment? I think that that's what that is. But this is also about, hoping that you're going to be able to move on from this and just lay it to rest, right? And rise above it. I look at judgment as, first of all, the review, having to kind of go back and look at everything that you've been through and everything that you've done and being able to make an assessment that's going to allow you to make peace with the past. But I think that some of you may be questioning on whether or not you're taking the right action, right? But I think that in a really big way that you're being called here to stop doing this, stop giving to something that's not giving anything back to you. You may have fought really hard for this, but now is the time, right? Now is the time. If you want to see any kind of accomplishment in your life or a new life, right? But yeah, I could see how you may be questioning, am I making the right assessment here? Am I judging things accurately? But needing to kind of like face the fact that it's not worth doing anymore, whether this is about a job or a person. And then coming out, Temperance. Okay. So I don't think that this is about you holding yourself back, but I think that it's you needing to find your balance, right? I'm looking at it with the Four of Wands and I'm thinking, okay, so if you tap into your ability to create whatever the hell you want, are you trying to find your equilibrium here so that you can get back to a place where you start putting in the effort toward making accomplishments that you're going to be able to be proud of and celebrate with the Four of Wands, right? But, I worry that you're just kind of like... And then the Two of Cups. So yeah, some of you, this is going to have to do with a relationship. But the thing is I kind of look at this and think that, if you're being complacent with Temperance, let's just say if, you may be allowing someone else to make the choice here in what you do. But that it's time to move on. And the thing is you're not allowing another opportunity in though. And it may be that you need to make a drastic change in your life when it comes to a relationship in particular or a partnership. The Three of Swords in the Tower. Yeah, the quick answer here is that, you're needing to kind of like hold yourself back from wanting to continue to work on something or be overly persistent with something that isn't going to bring you the kind of happiness that you want. With the Three of Swords in the Tower, yeah, something is falling apart here and it's not a good thing. Experiencing the heartbreak, possibly a separation happening. But then looking at the Ace of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups, it makes me wonder if some of you are not seeing that there may be a better opportunity there for you, but you're not allowing it in because this isn't something that you want to be done with just yet, right? But you need to be. But I still like the Four of Wands coming out on this. Now, it could be here that we need to make some drastic changes within a relationship where there may have been some heartbreak. The way things are going, they can no longer withstand. It's time to stop investing emotionally into constantly needing to defend yourself, protect yourself with the Nine of Wands. But I really think that this is about you needing to do what's necessary for you to start to rebuild your life and see, some realistic growth with the Ace of Pentacles. But again, with the Two of Cups, right, I look at this and think, are you holding yourself back because you see an opportunity for the connection to be made or strengthened, right? Can you get to a place where we're accomplishing something within a relationship? Are you passing up opportunities because the relationship is more important to you? Or are we getting to a place here where there is going to be realistic growth with the Ace of Pentacles? It is the beginning of a better partnership, the beginning of a better relationship. For some of you, you just drastically change relationships. And that could be the case coming out here in future conditions. And it may be because with Temperance, this is one of those relationships where it just brings you some peace and some balance and some harmony, right? But I think that you need to become more aware of your ability to create what you want, especially in terms of relationships, with the Magician being the overall, especially if you've experienced like an abrupt change in your situation or your relationships that caused heartbreak. But wow, Taurus, yeah, what do I do? What do I choose, right? But you can't stay in the stalemate forever with the Two of Swords. Are you making the right call? I think you are. I don't think judgment would be there if you weren't. Especially with the fact that with the Eight of Cups, you're just not getting what you need right now. And what's the point? What's the point in continuing to persist in a situation that isn't going to bring you the fulfillment that you want? But I like the Four of Wands coming out. Okay, so tranquility. And with Temperance coming out, that is what you need. Out of all the chaos that you may have had to experience in the past, or realizing that a relationship cannot hold up the way that it is. But you need to be open to what is going to happen next and use wisdom when moving forward. But I think that you need to be open to the idea that, you can manifest something better. Like I always say with the Magician, right? If you can manifest bullshit, you can manifest something better for yourself. And I really do think that this is going to be for those of you who are making drastic, and I mean drastic changes in your relationships, like abruptly leaving a relationship and moving on to the next, but it's not like in a bad way. I almost feel like it's something that was unexpected that, you may have like created, and it may not be what you were wanting to create or what you intended here. But the thing is if you're not happy where you're at right now, right, it's time for you to move on and choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do, Taurus, right? You can choose a different love for yourself. And being compassionate, it could just be that you need to be compassionate when it comes to leaving someone behind, right? Because what's the point? What's the point? If you're not getting any kind of fulfillment, then the compassionate thing here would be to say, okay, enough is enough. It's time to move on, right? But you have to make that choice. I think that you need to be open to possibly, new love here, a better situation. Be open to the fact that you can have peace and harmony in your life and not have to experience any heartbreak. But you need to make a choice here. You have to make a choice, and you need to do it from a place of compassion. But I still feel good about that Four of Wands. I do think that a lot of you are going to start to see accomplishments being made in your life, especially in regards to your relationships.